I get it. It's a cycle because we've been hurt, so we hurt back, whether we're conscious or subconscious of it. We do things in these stages to feed into this very culture. But I believe that the only way these things change is if we stop. And again, being able to identify patterns in people is going to be the strongest gift you will ever have. Like being able to see someone do something repetitively, whether they're aware of it or not, and know that it's going to be detrimental to your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. Knowing to see that and seeing that person and being able to identify that will save you from years of heartbreak. You might have invested time in something. You might have invested time into this particular relationship. That's just called the sunken cost fallacy. When you believe that you have to continue to do something that's bad for you just because you have a history with it, just because you're used to or know what pain feels like, does not mean that you have to stay in a place that's painful. Just because you know what dysformity or toxicity looks like doesn't mean you have to stay in a place that's toxic. Just because you know what it's like to go through something does not mean that you have to bear the weight of the pain of the person that's going through it right now. Yes, you can help them. Yes, you can service them, but it's not about you being the receptacle for them to dump their pain in. You have to realize that when you identify patterns in people, you stop doing things that you were used to doing just because you were used to doing them. These people that you're healing from, these people that you're growing from, will revert to these things because that is what they haven't grown from themselves. That's what they haven't healed themselves. And if you remain there, all you're going to do is become them. That old saying, you will be like the people that you spend your time with. Why would you want to be around someone who is treating you this way, who makes you feel belittled? And when we deal with heartbreak, we have to also be able to identify this in people. Because for a lot of us, we've put them in pedestals so high that it's not even them. They're not even the person that we're breaking up with. We're breaking up with the idea of the person that we made, not the reality of the person that they are. We don't heal because we've identified this false person in our brain. And what you've told yourself, what you've told your brain is that this person is perfect, that they could do no flaw, they could do no mistake. So again, you have to deal with this because now what you're doing is blaming you. It's not them, it's me. You take on what they're doing and how they are and say, it's not them, it's not that stuff, it's my stuff. You know how hard it is to heal from something that you have made your identity? You know how hard it is to heal from something that you are making bigger than you? You know how difficult it is to sit here and say, oh, this person is perfect. Why don't they want me? It's okay if they don't want you. You weren't made for them. The person that actually wants you will never make you feel this way. They will never drag you out in the way they're doing. And we have to stay firm into that. Heartbreak isn't weakness. It's just proof that you are willing to be vulnerable. The most beautiful thing you will ever do is be vulnerable. The most beautiful thing in this world that is cold, broken, and jaded is that vulnerability, is that ability to remain soft. Because if it made you jaded and broken and hard, the person that would have loved these things in you will never have the chance to receive it from you. When we heal from heartbreak, we have to then learn to identify the reality of the person that we're healing from. And again, some situations are very different. Doesn't always mean that we're dealing with something that they're both bad people. Like you're a bad person, they're a bad person. No, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not the worst person in the world. But we also need to understand that even though they might be good to other people, they're not good to us. Even though they might be sweet and compassionate, people have all these good things to say about them, how they treat you matters more than what other people say about them. I'm not saying that they're the big demon and you have to be scared of them, but I am saying that sometimes we have to be willing to identify the relationship that we have with the person and not what other people have seen, because there's a difference in intimacy. There are people that see this relationship from the outside or see that person from the outside and could say all these things, but you're the one that's dealing with the pain from it. You're the one that's dealing with how they're making you feel. You're the one that's going to have to be in this without anyone else. If you want to heal from heartbreak, if you want to heal from the relationship, if you want to just shift that culture that you're in, you'll have to do it from a point of understanding that you're not a failure, that you didn't fall, that the person that you're breaking up with or being relieved from is actually not who you think they are or not who your brain has made them to be. And you don't have to continue to identify with pain. Now, there's the practicals and the simple stuff. right? That we stop the calling, we stop the lurking, we try really, really hard to just let them be the person they are. And there's so many situations like when there's kids involved and this stuff, because it's inevitable. You're going to have to speak to this person. But I think that the strongest thing that you will ever do in those situations to refrain from going back to it is remind yourself of the reason why every single time. Because it's easy for us to look at the person and see the good, because they're good. They're not, maybe not everyone's a bad person. Maybe you are dealing with someone who's a horrible person. That's easy. I hate to say it, but it's easier to deal with a relationship and a breakup with a really bad person, because there's so many things for you to cling on to, so many things for you to be aware of just how bad they are. But when you're dealing with a person that's maybe not that terrible, it's easy to get lost in that good. It's easy to look at the things that they're doing and say, well, listen, they're not so bad. Let me come back, especially when there's children involved. But you need to remind yourself of the reason why. Like, why didn't it work? What do they do? How do they act? How do they act after the breakup? What were their how did they treat me when they realized that they couldn't get anything from me? The biggest indicator of a person in your life, if they're good or bad, will be how do they treat you when they can't get something from you. Like, if you can't provide something to them or you don't give them something, are they still the same person when they don't receive from you? There's an old saying that says that some people have fallen in love with your hand and not your heart. So they don't know how to treat you when that hand stops providing. Seeing how they authentically are, it's going to change how you respond. It should change how you respond, because sometimes we respond out of a place that we desire something, but they're showing you their truth. So as you heal from this heartbreak, the only thing that you have control and real power over is you. How you speak to you, how you allow yourself to move, how you grow, how you become better, how you stop responding to them, how you stop giving them power. You are the only thing you have power over. And that's beautiful, because that means that you have power to change. That means you have power to grow. That means you have power to heal. But you will never heal from a place that you refuse to leave. That wound will remain wide open if you continue to go back to the place that hurt you. It's not easy. And I'm not saying that our emotions aren't real and they're not valid, but you have more power over your emotions. You have more power over the heartbreak. So at this point, it needs to come to a moment where you reclaim that power completely.